On October 22nd, 2022, Mentors Moguls Podcast was proud and honored to participate in a unique pop-up event to bring awareness and raise funds for the humanitarian efforts in Ukraine through CNEWA, Catholic Near East Welfare Association. The driving force was the President of CNEWA, Msgr Peter Vaccari. CNEWA partnered with Insight Art Space and its founder, Catherine Testorf, and several silent volunteers to create an inspiring and memorable event of an art exhibit auctioning off one-of-kind art pieces created by 6 female artists from Ukraine.
Tonight, we've had a very powerful evening here in New York, where in support of CNEWA's mission in Ukraine to Ukrainian refugees and for Ukrainian IDPs, all those who have and continue to suffer because of the invasion that began back in Crimea in 2014 and then was renewed again in February of 2022. As Ukrainian people, both in Ukraine and in neighboring countries, suffer, we gathered here in this place in New York to be able to pay tribute to them in a very special way, to show the importance of preserving culture through art.
But I couldn't do this work, this exhibition, without having some an artist live in Ukraine. Because many of you know that since the war has started, especially in the eastern part of Ukraine, most of the museums and the art gallery have been destroyed. And many of these artists, some of them have been able to flee, especially women, but men not. And many have decided even to stay in Ukraine. So I thought it was very important for me that we understand the impact of this war for everyone, to have one of these artists with here with us. So with all the solidarity of all people around us, we were able to bring the art of Alina here with us. I came from Lviv, we transported from Lviv through Chicago to Harlem, New York. So I think it's really, we've already give us a message that we have to continue to help the people in Ukraine. And it's for this reason that I have decided to give a percentage of any sale that will be done. All these artworks are for sale on the wall to a great organization which has been so long in the ground. And I will pass the word to Msgr.
Good evening. My name is Msgr Peter Vaccari. I serve as the President of the Catholic Near East Welfare Association and Pontifical Mission. My first word is a word of just gratitude. Gratitude to Almighty God for the grace of this moment. I thought it would be appropriate, and if I may just quote one line, a 19th century poet: beauty is to enthuse us for work, and work is to raise us up. Beauty is surrounded by beauty, and the work that this provokes is an answer to the question that we all must answer: who is my neighbor? This is not a matter of just a personal response, it's a matter of the way in which we, all of us, from whatever faith, from whatever culture, from whatever background we come, we are there to answer the question to the person who is in need: who is my neighbor?
Our neighbor is every suffering human in this setting. So the mission of the organization that's going to benefit from this is to offer humanitarian and pastoral care to those in need in Ukraine. And this is an organization that one can say is the best kept secret in the Catholic Church or in the society as a whole. And so it's a very special evening. It's brought together wonderfully talented, caring and compassionate people, and I'm thrilled to be here.
we have been organizing support for the refugees and those impacted by the war in Ukraine since February 24th. And I am so moved to be here tonight with CNEWA, who are brothers and sisters with the same mission, the same faith, the same commitment. And I know that no matter how much is being done around the world, what's being done here in this home tonight is so meaningful and so important because it's coming from our homes to the homes of people who so desperately need our help. So thank you for what you're doing. Thanks for having me here.
You should know, in terms of the work of Catholic Near East, that what we are receiving on behalf of the people in Ukraine, whether they're Ukrainian refugees, the Cardinal Dolan and I and others saw when we went on a trip there at the end of April and the beginning of May, whether they were the refugees in Poland and Slovakia, or when we entered Ukraine and the visits that we made there. Michael Lasavita, who is also here tonight, our Director of Communication, was part of that visit with the Cardinal. For all of these people, these are the people that we're working for. For all of them, CNEWA contributes 100% of the donations we receive to that work, to that mission. That's how important we think this is right now, 100%.
The Catholic Near East Welfare Association has been working with Ukrainians and for Ukrainians since our founding, and we're doing a tremendous amount of work coordinating worldwide Catholic aid on behalf of Ukrainians, not just in Ukraine proper, but for those who have been displaced and are now in Hungary and Poland, Slovakia, even places like Romania and Moldova. So we're very grateful for the incredible spirit of generosity of our donors in the United States and in Canada, who have been so good to us, knowing that the aid, the funds that they send, will be delivered and already have been delivered to the tune of $5.5 million presently on behalf of Ukrainians in need because of the war inflicted upon them by the Russian military.
Before the invasion and since the invasion, we have also made sure that all secure routes are going to make sure that whatever comes to us will go to people who are Ukrainian refugees and who are Ukrainian IDPs. I'll just use one example and then just close this. On the visit with Cardinal Dolan, we went into one place in Lviv. We went into this particular place where provision had been made for people who had been really thrown out of their homes. Their homes, their villages had been bombed. And we went to this one place where I went with the Cardinal, and we walked into the place, and there was a mat. A young man, maybe in his mid-late 20s, at one end of the mat. The end of the mat was his mother, just looking at him. And we quickly realized this young man was in a catatonic state and had not spoken a word since his village had been bombed. The mother comes every day to try in some way to engage, and if nothing else, to show her love for him. And your presence here tonight is a way in which you're showing your love for all the Ukrainian neighbors that we have, whether they are in Ukraine or in the neighboring countries. I'm very appreciative for all those who showed up here tonight, showed up here to support the mission of CNEWA with our partners on the ground in Ukraine to bring necessary relief, clean water, medicine, food, clothing, warm clothing. Ukraine is about to enter into one of the harshest winters they have experienced in years because of the savage attacks which have been launched against Ukraine. I'm very grateful to the artist behind me, Albina Yalotsa, for the contributions that she and many others have made. But for Albina, it is her story coming from Ukraine, and she has communicated that story of a martyred people to the guests who came here this evening.
So I noticed you're standing behind a work of art of Saint Michael, painted by a Ukrainian artist who lives in New Jersey, who will actually be at this event tonight. Why is this featured in the show?
Saint Michael is the patron saint of Kiev, which is the capital city of Ukraine. There was a monastery in Kiev called Saint Michael. and it was dynamited, the main church, by Stalin in the 1930s. It's since been rebuilt, or fragments, portions of it. During the Maidan Revolution in 2014 in Ukraine, folks, when they were being protesters, Ukrainians, when they were seeking shelter from snipers, from the security apparatus at that time, sought shelter under the arcades, under the nave, the dome of St. Michael's Cathedral. So in many ways, Michael continues to be St. Michael, the protector and defender of folks from Kiev, not just the capital city, but much of Ukraine, if not all.
I thank you for taking the time to spend a little time with us, and I ask for your prayers. I ask for your support, whatever you can do to be able to give to the mission of CNEWA in our efforts to support the people of Ukraine.
If you're interested in joining in the support and donating, please visit the website link below.